And I know sometimes that people look at me in a different way when I've got all Apple products as opposed to other products. And it makes me feel good. You see, we think about who's rich and what works, and businesses say, oh, I'd like to be like Apple. Then great. Go build products that are 4 to 6% better than everybody else and treble your prices. Then you're like Apple. You get trapped in the detail of your complicated plan. The devil makes you go, and then he brainwashes you that the Excel spreadsheets are correct, and they never are, and they never actually work, ever, ever, ever. And then we go and put tolerances in to try and explain the inadequacies of our original mathematics, which were never based on actual practical research, having gone and sold 1,000 units of a thing to this group of people and see what they're willing to pay for it and what margin we can make for it and can we produce enough of them or whatever else. They're based on theory at best. That's all spiritual warfare in a business. Every single step of it. If you cannot produce a business plan on less than one side of legal or A4 paper, without 75% of it or more being focused on who the customer is, how you easily sell to them, why they are desperate to buy it from you, and how they will easily just give you all of their money. I can't remember what the verse, the parable of the pearl, I think it is, in Matthew, speaks very much of the rich man who found the pearl and then went back and kept it a secret and went to sold all of his worldly possessions to get the pearl. Right? There's another parable before it, the parable of the hidden treasure. That's business, right? That's what you want in a business, is to have a hidden treasure that when the customer sees it, they're like, I will sell everything I've got to have that thing. But that all starts with, you've got to understand your customer and what the hidden treasure is that they're willing to go and sell all of their stuff for to buy the hidden treasure. So it has to start with them. Yet again, we end up back in Matthew, back in the red letters, back in Jesus, same place. And then if you think about the petrol as a great example, and we spoke about the oil tycoons, right? It fulfills that narrative. People sell stuff to fill up their tank with diesel or with petrol, with gas. They will go without to have a car. It is the hidden treasure that people will sell all their stuff to have. You think about, I love Apple products. I've got these AirPods. I think these are, what, 4,000 or 5,000 rand, something like that. $300, something like that. You can get for a third of the price a not Apple, other version of these that do a 95, 96% good enough job for a third of the price. And yet, I'm willing to go and somehow find the money 3 times more to buy these because they look good, they fit in with a certain image that I wish to have. They always function and connect to all of my devices instantly without me having to think about it. Like, they actually are slightly better. And I know sometimes that people look at me in a different way when I've got all Apple products as opposed to other products. And it makes me feel good. You see, we think about who's rich and what works, and businesses say, oh, I'd like to be like Apple. Then great. Go build products that are 4 to 6% better than everybody else and treble your prices. And then you're like Apple. Apple's created a cult and a movement, hasn't created a business, although it's one of the world's richest businesses. But it all starts with the people. Steve Jobs started with wanting to get a computer into every home that anybody could use, regardless of their educational background. He's not working for Steve Jobs. He's working for every homeowner who could have a computer that kids could learn on, they could do their taxes on, whatever else, in their home where they don't need to be a genius to go use it. He's working for them. Just so happens that in doing so, he builds one of the world's largest tech firms, one of the world's richest tech firms. Both of those things are a gravity-fed default of starting with changing the world for the consumer in the home, for their benefit. See, the narrative around business may well be like that, but that's because the rich don't want you to get richer. They want to fob you off with poor mentality and poor ideas to keep you broke, because then the rich get to stay rich. They don't have to share the space at the top of the mountain.